So we had talked about Konami this morning when it comes to them looking to revive some of their old franchises, gaming franchises that people would get excited about, but we've come to know Konami as the pachinko machine company. That's the running joke. Well, they decided to make a bit of a change when it comes to their soccer or their football game, that going from Pro Evolution Soccer to something called eFootball. They actually took a year off, and the idea was they transitioned from the Fox engine to Unreal Engine, and they released it. It's free to play, and now it is the worst rated game on Steam. And we're going to go over that here today. Guys, if you enjoyed these videos, make sure that like button helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the Spawn Wave Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. So first, let's just go over here to Steam. This is the page for eFootball 2022. It released pretty recently, I believe in the last couple weeks. And I mean, it's free to play. They also have, of course, like a premium player pack that I'm sure comes with just different things when it comes to the game in terms of microtransactions and stuff like that. They're still monetizing the game and them taking some of the different things when it comes to currency, I'm sure, and other parts of it, packaging it together and just making kind of a bundle out of it is one way they can also sell it alongside of have this free-to-play game. But there's one issue. We can see here, overwhelmingly negative, 17,257 reviews. That is astonishing for a series that I would say at one point was regarded as a better soccer game than FIFA. Especially, I remember back in the mid-2000s, I think it was like 2005, 2006, somewhere in there, Pro Evolution Soccer wasn't necessarily as popular or talked about as FIFA, but for the people who knew about it and played it, they would tell you, yes, Pro Evolution Soccer, or PES, is better than FIFA, mostly on a technical level. There were a lot of things you could do in Pro Evolution Soccer that you couldn't in FIFA, especially things when it came to setting up plays, off-the-ball stuff, different parts of the game that FIFA did add in as they went along, but for a time, Pro Evolution Soccer was well ahead of FIFA when it came to gameplay, and that's one of the reasons why it's such a shame to see this happen to the series. Now, there are going to be growing pains when they moved to Unreal Engine from Fox Engine, and I mean, they took a whole year off to try to make it work, but it does not appear that that has happened. There are people complaining that the game is stuck at like 720p, and the biggest part about this are the graphical issues, different glitches that are taking place. Now, they're also comical, right? Like when you see them, it's pretty funny. It's kind of like what happened with WWE 2K when they had that come out. Was it 2K20? And some of the stuff that was going on there, I mean, it was a broken game, but it was hilarious at times with some of the stuff that happens. Now, there is this website here. It's Steam250.com, and it will track like the worst rated games on Steam, right? Or at least give us an idea. We can look through them and we can sort of scroll up here. And the idea is it takes the votes when it comes, or reviews for positive, overwhelmingly positive versus negative and overwhelmingly negative. And it gives us a percentage here. So, I mean, we can see like 4.58 with 46%. Then we have 3,111 votes. So this is all the way down here at number 100. And it'll even track how they move, which is pretty funny. So we can kind of scroll up through here, and you'll probably recognize some of the games as we go along. But, like, here's WWE 2K20, and remember the PR nightmare that was, to the point where we haven't seen another wrestling game from 2K since the release of 2K20. They had to take time off, more so than we thought, as there is no wrestling game for this holiday that's coming next year. But that's number 42. We still have like 41 other places to get to before we come up on number 1, which is indeed eFootball 2022. 10% here with votes, 1.04 score. Once again, I want to point out, WWE 2K20 has 4.12 and 41% votes. I mean, look, even Madden 22 was number 17, and people like destroy that game constantly online with how far Madden has fallen here. But we can go over this over on VGC, and they do point out some of the glitches here that they've kind of cataloged, and some of this has to do with with just the different players and how they look compared to EA with FIFA. And yeah, there's a obvious difference when it comes to what EA has been able to build on with FIFA versus the direction that Konami has gone in here with eFootball for their first outing here with the free-to-play series. Some of the best clips, though, are these videos of just the most random and weird things happening throughout the game. Like, there's the referee right here kind of laying down flat, just sort of floating around as part of the field. And the screenshots and videos just go on and on and on of some of the strangest things you'll see in a game, and a lot of it has to do with the character models just, I don't know, glitching out, having all kinds of weird and wacky things happen. And even the faces are the strangest part, because for some reason Konami has this issue with this game where everyone's mouth is like wide open, like they have like a leaf blower, you know, blowing into their mouth and like expanding it. And Konami does recognize that there's a problem here because they did issue a response. And that reads, after the release of eFootball 2022, we have received lots of feedback and requests regarding game balance that includes pass speed and defense operations. We would also like to acknowledge that there have been reports of problems users have experienced with cutscenes, facial expressions, movements of players, and the behavior of the ball. We are very sorry for the problems and want to assure everyone we will take all concerns seriously and strive to improve current situation. This work will be continuously updated, quality will be improved, and content will be added consistently. From next weekend onward, we prepare for an update in October while receiving further opinions through questionnaires to our users. We will do our utmost to satisfy as many users as possible, and we look forward to your continued support of eFootball 2022. And this is going to be tough for Konami in general with eFootball because it's already had its first impression, and it's not very good. I mean, we've seen what's happened to different games that at least worked to repair and did eventually fix a game like No Man's Sky, but it still carries that launch and that first impression with it for a lot of people. Now, I guess the one thing about eFootball is it did reach meme status online and went around so much that, I mean, yeah, a lot of people probably did download the game. It's free to play just to check it out and see if they could experience any of these weird glitches. But that's something that Konami's going to have to work for a long time now to try to repair. They made it very obvious it's a live service game considering it's free to play. So I guess there's that. Like, if this was a full-priced $60, even $70 game like what we see with FIFA right now, this wouldn't have been, I guess, just as funny and joking of a situation, because there would be a lot of anger even and frustration that a game priced at that, being the full price 60 or 70, came out with this quality. So obvious growing pains from the start here with eFootball becoming, well, the worst rated game on Steam. And like I said, that's a platform that has some pretty bad games. So to see a game out of Konami, one that is part of the Pro Evolution Soccer line that was highly regarded years and years ago, become this, yeah, it's kind of a shame. But let me know what you guys think about all of this down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.